Good morning. It is Wine Wednesday. I'm very excited today because I have a special guest in studio. But first, I want to thank our sponsors. We have Bottle Barn on board. For all your wine, your booze, and your non-booze needs, you got to hang out and check out Bottle Barn in Santa Rosa. And Oliver's Markets. Of course, they have 4 locations. Everybody knows their newest location is in Windsor. It's closer to Zigtown. I talk about that all the time. I love their poke bar there. I love their wine selection. I love their produce. I love just hanging out there because they have a pub with a fabulous menu and you can get wines by the glass. And apparently they have beer too, although, I'm not really hip to that deal. Anyway, we're going to talk about affordable wines because, of course, it's January and this is when I love to feature affordable wines. Perhaps, some of us spend a little bit too much money during the holiday season. And so our purses are a little bit tighter in January than they normally would be. So I'm out there year round looking for some of the best value wines that you can find. And that doesn't necessarily mean on the retail side of things, but it also might mean in the restaurant side of things. And recently I was at Zazu. We love going to Zazu Kitchen, and they had the most spectacular white wine by the glass for $5. And I'm like, are you kidding? So then, of course, I have 1 glass and I have 2 glasses because it's only $5. And I think, okay, well, I'll have that 3rd glass with dinner. Anyway, I wanted to bring on one of my longtime friends and who actually owns the winery of the Riesling that we're talking about that I had at Zazu. Welcome, Allison.
Good morning.
I was thinking this morning on the way in, Texicali Alley's coming in the studio this morning because you're from Texas and forever that's been your nickname, Texicali Alley. And now that you live in Russian River Valley, I'm like, do people call you that anymore?
They still do. I mean, the y'all still comes out.
Right? And it's never going away.
Never going away.
Right?
Absolutely.
So what is the deal? You were in the wine business for a long time. Now you and your husband have your own story, your own wine. And as a matter of fact, we took your last name and his last name, and we've got the Smith Story Winery.
It so happened that way, right?
Mm-hmm. I remember.
We often tell people, I was a Smith and I married a Story, and that's the true story. After a couple of decades of helping others and just really learning this business from the ground up, we got engaged, and everybody kind of started giving us the old elbow. You guys have got to start your own thing. So 2014 was our first vintage, mm-hmm. and, we actually used Kickstarter to launch. We were the first winery to be crowdfunded, yeah. Our campaign was help us pay our farmers first. We wanted everybody to know that we're working with real people, making real wine from the ground up, and so far, so good. We just finished our 4th harvest in our big tasting room in the little town of Philo in the Anderson Valley.
And it's so cute. Teal and I traveled there and had such an amazing day just hanging out at your bar. I love that you have a bar. I'm very comfortable with the bar situation.
We're bar people.
So you're like, come on, Zig, belly up to the bar, And Teal and I really had a wonderful afternoon tasting through your lineup. And fast forward, now you have also, in addition to that, a tasting room right here in Windsor.
Absolutely. We are proud to be among the family at Cru Custom Crush. Hashtag Windsor Beverage District.
All right, I got it.
It's within steps from the new Russian River Brewery going in. So pretty excited to be there. And we're conducting tastings, appointment only, but it's just a state-of-the-art production facility.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
I was there, what was it, a couple weeks ago when your mom was in town?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Let's not relive that. Bless her heart.
Bless her heart.
That's what you say in the South, right?
Absolutely. for many different reasons.
So here I am at Zazu, and they have what Dusky loves to call her $5 cluck, and every month it's like some amazing find of some rock star wine.
Yeah.
And here it is, your Riesling for $5 a glass, and I'm telling you, it is the best patio pounder ever. It's so good, and it goes down so easily, and it's just so balanced. And a lot of people don't think about Riesling for an everyday white wine, and there's no reason you shouldn't, because when we think, at least when I do, days of yore, like growing up, and my parents would have Rieslings and stuff. There was Johannesburg Rieslings, right? Back in the day, and they were very sweet.
Yep.
But that's really not the deal with Riesling, is it?
No, it really isn't. I mean, Riesling's probably one of the most complex white wines in the world. And we are fortunate enough to actually make our Riesling in the Rheingau region of Germany. And we do harvest, fermentation, bottling, labeling, and we import it over. We're probably the only import company in the Anderson Valley, under Eric Story Selections. But our Riesling right now, it's just like biting into a Honeycrisp apple.
It's so good.
It's got such great acidity and a tiny bit of sweetness. And we play around with Riesling a lot in our house. And I think right now, at Zazu, probably one of my favorite things that really surprised me is the Nashville chicken they have on the dish.
Yes, that's on their appetizer.
Yeah,
they do a little
gosh.
sandwich with it.
Right.
It's spicy.
Well, when you sit at the bar, you don't have to, count for all the things you eat at the bar. Just keep drinking the Riesling.
Right, because it's $5 a glass.
Exactly.
Why wouldn't you?
Exactly.
We recently had it with fresh Dungeness crab, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
Just like literally just cold, cracked it and had some sourdough bread. And it was delicious. But then Teal and I had some before with oysters. And the minerality in that Riesling just pops when you have it with fresh oysters on the half. It's so delicious.
Well, we always want our Riesling to make a super impression. I have more red wine drinkers that have come to us and said, I never knew how much I enjoyed Riesling. Thank you for making the Riesling in the style that you do. And, this Riesling doesn't even need food. Like you said,
no.
patio pounder. It helps with gardening.
It helps with so many things. The problem that we have is that we've apparently gotten a lot, like the last case we got from you, the bottles had holes in the bottom. For every time we opened it, but Teal and I, she'd be like, Mom, this is a situation.
Yeah.
Like the bottle is empty. I'm like, I don't know how that happened.
Well, we laugh. We often think about maybe putting a crazy straw in the pack with our Riesling these days. It goes down pretty fast. It's very low alcohol, a tiny bit of residual sugar. It's just really all around a really good value, too. It's $20 a bottle.
There you go.
Everything we do under Eric Story Selections Imports is really about high value for really good cost.
And high quality.
Yeah, high quality.
And so I like the low alcohol part. That works for me. So there's no face plant in the spaghetti after one glass, right? We're not pulling a Pam Long here.
Right. Super, super balanced wine, I think a unbalanced wine is like a really bad margarita. Hits you in the face and makes you really tired.
No dice. So you have an event coming up that we want to encourage everybody to go to. Of course, me and the Hot Hippie will be there.
Cool.
And it's like a Valentine's story, a love story, and you're having your first ever brunch at your new tasting room in Windsor.
The True Love Brunch.
And since we've mentioned Zazu, know that their Black Piglet truck is going to be on site doing the brunch.
Absolutely. Can't wait. It's a little bacon with our 2015 Thorn Ridge Vineyard Pinot Noir. Our smallest production from Sonoma County. It comes from this beautiful vineyard the west of Sebastopol Hills, and we made a whopping 2 barrels in 15. So.
Wow. So the day of the brunch is February 11th?
It is. It's a Sunday brunch, so 10:30 to 1.
Okay.
We have a special barrel tasting at 1:30 to 2:30 for our Storyteller Wine Club members. But looking forward to it. I'm actually going to eat a lot of carbs that day. We're also bringing in Pascaline Bakery goods.
Oh, yeah. Mama loves the Pascaline.
Oh, man.
So good.
Yeah.
So your website is?
SmithStoryWineCellars.com.
Okay.
And click on the happenings link, or in our wine shop, it has all the details to the brunch.
Okay.
And of course, all about our Riesling, too.
Yes, I love it. So if you go to SmithStoryWineCellars.com, you'll get hip to what's happening with their entire wine portfolio, on top of the fact that they have this fabulous brunch coming up on Sunday, February 11th. I will definitely be there. I would not miss it. And you can get hip to also what's going to be happening in the future. And if you happen to be taking a little drive up through the Anderson Valley in Mendocino County, you can certainly stop by their tasting room on the weekends, right?
Yes, please do. Friday through Sunday right now. And once the rainy season kind of filters out, we'll be open 5 days a week.
Well, I'll be going up there for the Alsace Festival.
Yes, the Aromatic White Wine Festival, rebranded this year.
That's right. I'll be doing that at the end of February, so I'll be stopping by your tasting room then.
Cool.
And thank you for coming in this morning. I can't wait until February 11th so I can do the Zazu Black Piglet Truck brunch and some of your wines.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Now, be sure to tune in to Wine Wednesday next week when we focus on red wine, and I have 2 amazing gentlemen that are flying in from New York to talk about their new book released called Red Wine. Mike DeSimone and Jeff Jensen wrote this book together with Kevin Zraeli. It is an amazing, amazing book, and we'll have them in studio next week. Meanwhile, have a wine-soaked morning and a cocktail-laced afternoon. Cheers, everybody.